This is just a walk along the Muscliffe free stretch. Do bear in mind that it is free to fish, but you need a rod licence as with anywhere in freshwater in England or Wales. And the rod licence technically says that to be found in possession of fishing equipment adjacent to fresh water is illegal unless you have a licence, although given the usual lack of evidence claims on most arrests and such, it's probably going to be thrown out unless you're actually caught in the act of fishing and catching fish. You will note that some genius has come up with the idea of closing the car park at 6 p.m, thus meaning you to park obstructing the road if you're fishing later than that. Car park, which is open during the day, is fairly extensive. I've never found a problem, and it's a short walk down to the river, which we will take now. This is actually Stour Valley Nature Reserve.
So I'm not sure if it had been like your house. I mean, I don't think you would have been as well.
This is all raised up to sort of pathway that leads round along the pond He likes it, doesn't he?
You can keep that one.
It's obviously tasty.
It's like on that YouTube video.
He like best thing is yeah? Like I hope I give him
When you reach the river, this is a walk up to the right, which takes you up to the weir, which is the boundary with the fruit fishery, which is Ringwood Waters. As you can see, there's numerous interesting little spots to sort of slip in for a little bit of margin fishing on this section. And considering we've had some fairly substantial amounts of rainfall recently, the path is in pretty reasonable order. It's not exceptionally muddy or slippy or horrible. The river, you'll notice, is very fast flowing at the moment and quite well up for water depth. Huge amount of debris in the river at the moment with all the storms we've had and the heavy rainfall bringing everything down. I can make a nice little swim. A little bit of dodgy footing just here. That's about as far as you can walk along a path if you're not careful. But we keep going. And that is where we run out of path with the river at this height. We now return to the upper path. I'll switch the camera off for a little while there because we're just walking along a footpath and looking at the hedgerows and the fields around. This is actually part of the long distance walk known as the Stour Valley Way, which starts at Hengistbury Head and wends its way as close as possible alongside the River Stour all the way to its source at Stour Head in Wiltshire. Fairly pleasant long distance walk, I'm told. Not one I've actually done in its entirety. I've done bits of it. My brother and some friends did the entire length in several sections, and tells me that most of it is pretty good, pretty easy to follow, although do take a guidebook to the Stour Valley Way and a decent Ordnance Survey map, otherwise you can find yourself walking some distance and ending up in a dead end and having to walk back because you've missed the actual footpath. And now we start the stroll back. Where did that wind spring up from? Absolutely flat calm about 5 seconds ago. What a lovely spot to stop for a cup of coffee, and I think I've got a chicken sandwich somewhere in my game bag here. So back to where we started. That's the right hand section done. The left hand section is now to come. Personally, I think the left hand section affords much better spots to fish, but bear in mind the river is extremely high at the moment and extremely wider than normal. We should take a short stroll towards the left hand section, which I'm not going to do the whole lot today because it does go almost up to the waterworks at Ferndown, which is much too far for this old codger to walk, having done the other section as well. Serious bit of flow on the river here. I'm not quite sure what you need to hold bottom, and trotting afloat it's probably going to be halfway to Christchurch Harbour before you've got to the middle of the river. I always find this side of the free stretch much more willy boot territory. They're happy anyway.
Yeah.
You do get quite a lot of dog walkers and general walkers along this section, and a few horse riders and such along, so whilst you can fish virtually anywhere along here, you have to be careful of where your rod's, where your kit is. Yeah, you don't want people falling over it. A little way along here there's a wooden platform which juts out into the river, which gives you a dry spot to fish. You're not going to risk your rods getting trampled underfoot by somebody horse riding or whatever, or have people tripping over your rods. And I think it's about as far as we're going to walk today. And maybe if we get another nice day over the Christmas period, I'll come down and restart the walk from that point and walk it up to the end of the free stretch at Ferndale. Well, having reached this point and not bought my Wellingtons, and this appears to go way down into the distance. I'm not sure if it's actually Wellingtons I require or a paddleboard or a rubber dinghy. And this is quite deep. I think that is the point we will call it a day for today, and it's looking like my idea of coming and doing the other section sometime over this Christmas break is going to be more like in the spring, because as you can see way down into the distance there, it is still indistinguishable from which side of the fence is river and which is footpath. You'll find the river is completely across the path further down.
Okay, thank you very much.
You don't so much need Wellington boots as a bobber dinghy once you get round the corner. Boxing Day 2022, and it is 2:37 in the afternoon. Considering we've had a whole month of exceptional cold weather, exceptionally wet weather. Yesterday I walking back down my garden simply put some rubbish in the dustbin, and in the 20 seconds it took me to walk back up the path I got soaked. And today we have blue skies, sunshine, slightly chill wind springing up, but what a glorious day.